Whoa, 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 stop, stop, stop! Hello, my wonderful friends. I am always exceedingly pleased to do videos with my voice where you hear him. I'm here with another edition of the Nintendo News Roundup. We got a whole lot of stories to cover today, lots of really good stuff. First, super, ooper duper quick. I do not normally do this, but I'm a little bit desperate. If you like my videos and you want to see them all, go click that bell. I don't know, I never do a big call to action for the subscribing and the bell and all that stuff, but the algorithm has not been kind to me recently. Lots of people are reporting low views across the board. Been putting out some videos we're really proud of, and they're not reaching people the way they used to. We did this video about stuff that I predicted accurately about Nintendo, and I thought we're so proud of it, and we love that video, and barely anyone has seen it. And then I really loved the Raycon sponsorship I did in the 3DS has been discontinued video. It's this ongoing thing, and I don't know, I'm just saying, if you like my stuff, you can just hit subscribe, hit that bell. It helps us a lot, because yeah, like I said, just, I don't know, YouTube, it isn't like me, right? It isn't like, I mean, still doing okay. Can't complain too much, but just across the board for a lot of people, views have been, the views have been struggling, so hit the bell and everybody you like, other YouTubers too. Honestly, any and all YouTubers that you love would really appreciate it, because nothing is more frustrating than YouTube not showing your videos to people and then being like, oh, well, no one's watching your videos. We shouldn't show your videos to people. It's a whole cycle. Anyway, Crown Tundra, the second half of the Pokemon Sword and Shield expansion pass, is officially coming October 23rd. The Pokemon Company did a little video talking about all of the stuff that's going to be in it. It is going to contain all past legendaries from all mainline Pokemon games, which is actually pretty darn impressive. However, they are some are exclusive to versions of Sword or Shield, which is really aggravating. I know it's just a Pokemon thing, but it's aggravating. Also, it's the whole thing where, you know, let's take away the Pokemon and then be like, hey, look, the Pokemon are back, to get everyone all excited. Whatever. It's pretty cool, though. They've taken the idea of Pokemon dens that you do Dynamax battles in, you know, from the original game, and kind of turned it into a full, like, dungeon thing. You know, like, you go down in the den, you fight them, but in this one, you go further down in the den, and it's a big, you can team up with people, and I actually think that's really cool. It's a pretty darn cool thing. It also introduces a new tournament mode where you can actually team up with trainers, you know, the NPCs from the game and the previous expansion pass thing, which, according to this, gives, you know, more opportunities for character development and stuff, and it's just a fun thing. There's lots of little things in here. They reveal a lot of other stuff too. Apparently now you can get Ash's Pikachu in the game, and my only question is, what happened to Ash? I mean, you got that's his hat. Does he need help? Oh. They also revealed that connectivity between Pokemon Go and Pokemon Home would be arriving before the end of the year, so if that's something you've been looking forward to, that's a thing too. Speaking of Pokemon Go, though, in considerably less pleasant news, Niantic is apparently stripping away a lot of the features that they put into place to make the game more pandemic friendly. Pokemon Go is a game about getting out, just going out places, and so, you know, naturally not everyone can do that right now, so they put in a lot of things to make it easier for people to play from home, and they're removing them. We're still in the middle of all of this. Some places are locking down again, and I don't know why they chose to do this. They're not removing everything. There's some specific things, but I don't know. Like, they are making the game harder to play for people. It's a very strange PR move. I don't know if this has been affecting their revenue at all, but it's very strange and very disappointing. It's not the best look. I don't know. In their defense, they released a statement saying basically like, hey, I mean, like, you can go out for a walk, you know, like you can distance and go out for a walk. It is technically true, but again, it's just not a good, just was this a thing you really needed to do? It's called PR. Not the best idea. Let people keep playing from home for a while longer, huh? Moving on, in some very exciting news, Nintendo is about to reveal the latest fighter in the Smash Ultimate Fighters Pass Part 2, Volume 2 Chronicle 2, whatever it is. And I keep getting so unlucky with these roundups. I record them like the day before we know that big news is gonna drop, and it's just, I can't fit it in there, and I can't delay until tomorrow because I can't work on Saturday. It's gotta go on Friday. It's a whole entire thing. So again, I'm here to say, you already heard about it, but here I am reporting and saying it's gonna happen, which is super lame, but whatever. Guess we'll talk about it next week. Speaking of Smash, however, the Hero and Joker amiibo have launched in many territories. I do believe North America will be a couple days after this recording, but they're finally coming out and they do look very, very nice. And also, speaking of amiibo, Capcom revealed 3 amiibo to commemorate the release of Monster Hunter Rise. I've never played Monster Hunter. I don't know if I ever will, but I gotta say, I don't know who Magnamalo is. But that amiibo is sick. That is oh man. I might get that just because that's just a cool guy. Wow, look at him. I must say, however, that this news does come with one very small caveat. You won't be able to buy any of them. Because in each region, these amiibo are only available at specific retailers. Already hard enough to get amiibo, but we all know that just making it retailer exclusive is just it's just such a good, just an even better way to make a really hard thing just even more frustrating and difficult and like borderline impossible for some people. But I could go on. So apparently there is a show somewhere called Love Island, and on that show there is a person called Laura Whitmore, and apparently Nintendo UK has hired Laura Whitmore to be an official Ring Fit Adventure spokesperson, an ambassador. I do actually think this is very interesting. It's just another piece of the Ring Fit Adventure saga, and I think the fact that Nintendo, I mean, like, it's already selling really well, and the fact that Nintendo is just actively hiring a spokesperson just to like be in their commercials and be like an ambassador for the brand. It means that they're very much interested in continuing to push this product, which again is very surprising. I never anticipated that it would do what it has been doing, and yet here we are, Nintendo hiring celebrities to just make more people interested in Ring Fit Adventure. Who knows how far they're gonna go with it. And speaking of Ring Fit Adventure and transitioning seamlessly into Animal Crossing related news, I'm on the ball today. As of this recording, I believe, as of today, players in Animal Crossing are now able to receive a Ring Fit Adventure accessory for their Animal Crossing little houses. Those are cute little animal houses you got there in that game. And now your cute little person can have a little cute little Ring Fit Adventure that they pretend to play. I played Ring Fit Adventure. I mean, I need to get back into it. It was last year, but I mean, it's not like it's been a full 365 days. Like 300 or something. Obviously, the most exciting Animal Crossing related news of the week, though, is the fall update. Unless I'm mistaken, summer had 2 updates. It looks like we're getting one in the fall, although at the end of this whole thing, they kind of show like the turkey and the reindeer. So maybe it's like a fall one and then kind of like a mix of a fall one and a winter one. I don't really know how it works. Point is, though, there's all sorts of really fun, spooky Halloween stuff. I feel like if I were still actively playing Animal Crossing, this would be pretty darn cool. There's all this like cool DIY stuff to craft, all this spooky stuff, all these new like spooky, I wouldn't even call them now, emotes, whatever they're called now. They're updating Nook Link, the app, so that you can easily pick between all of these different expressions, which is actually a pretty darn cool thing because it's hard to do it in-game. And most excitingly of all, you can now grow pumpkins. This is really cool. We've talked about this before, the idea of bringing like crops or something to Animal Crossing. Unfortunately, my fears have been confirmed, at least at the moment, at least for pumpkins. You grow them just to make DIY recipes out of them. That's really basically it. There's no other thing to it. And if we end up, if those leaks end up being true, we end up getting other kinds of crops or whatever, it's probably just going to be that. It's probably just going to be more DIY stuff, which is a little bit disappointing, but at the same time, I can also understand it. Introducing a whole crop system it kind of makes it a different kind of game. I will say just the simple, just the image of seeing a person watering, like having a little pumpkin patch and watering them, I really, really like that. I just, man, that is really tempting me to boot up the game and make some pumpkins and get all spooky Halloween stuff. It's fun. I love Halloween. It's my birthday. Halloween's my birthday, and I love it. It's just a wonderful holiday. So that's the fall update, but good news for anyone in North America who really wanted to get their hands on some of those Animal Crossing Amiibo cards or that super fancy special edition Animal Crossing Switch. In North America, those are officially being restocked. I don't know why just in North America. Hopefully they roll this out to everybody, any kind of restock. I mean, you know me. You know my thoughts on the whole limited supply thing. Don't do it. Make more. People want to buy your thing. Make more. So that's good. And final piece of Animal Crossing related news. I'm not very culturally versed. I don't know why Japan has already had their Game Awards for the year. But apparently they have, and at the Japan Game Awards 2020, Animal Crossing has naturally won the grand prize. Grand award, whatever you call it. Everyone thought Animal Crossing was the best. Not surprising at all. Moving on, Super Mario 3D All-Stars continues to sell extremely well. In Japan, the game managed to sell 210,000 box copies in just 3 days, and that is just boxed copies. I'm sure digital adoption is crazy with any and all Switch games, so that's impressive. And in the UK, the game is at the top of the charts for the second week in a row. And look at that, it also beat out Marvel's Avengers. Wow, it's almost, never mind. Nope, sorry, not talking about Marvel's Avengers today. This is a Nintendo show. Oh boy, I got some opinions on that game though. Golly gosh. I'm looking out the window. Roberta can't hear me, but her ear just twitched like crazy. She could just sense it. She could just like sense it in the air, what I was thinking. So here's a weird one. It's not super newsy, but I still feel like it's pretty darn interesting. Interesting enough to talk about. So a Twitter user by the name of Critical Kate Willier. Okay, no, sorry, I don't know how to say that. But she's come up with something of a really, really interesting theory about Mario. So, if you don't know, originally Mario was going to be a Popeye game, and eventually Nintendo kind of reskinned it and changed it. I think they did go on to make a Popeye game, but like, for a while, Mario and Popeye were kind of linked in this way. Apparently back in the 80s, Japan had a magazine called Popeye, which it was about American fashion, like I guess specifically like Los Angeles fashion. For some reason it was styled around Popeye. That was just kind of, I don't know, like the mascot or something. Well, this person was digging around old issues of Popeye and they found this. Does this look familiar to you at all? So basically, they formed a whole new theory that this is where the look of Mario came from. If Mario and Popeye and all that were so linked together back then, it was almost a Popeye game. It is not a stretch to imagine that Shigeru Miyamoto was looking at these Popeye magazines and saw this, and that's what gave him kind of the general idea, that the overalls and the red and the blue for Mario. I don't think that's much of a stretch at all. I think it's actually pretty darn likely. And if so, that's just like really, really interesting to me. It's an observation based on such obscure data that just nobody has made before. At least, I don't know. I don't know if anyone's ever made it before. I've never heard it before. Magazine for City Boy. I don't know what about that is funny to me, but it is. Retro Studios' hiring spree just will not stop, apparently. They have hired John Marcella, previously a senior game designer at Sony Santa Monica, as an environment designer for Metroid Prime 4. This guy worked on God of War. This guy really knows what he's doing, and like, that's the thing. Like, we keep coming back to this again and again and again. All of these hires are from people who worked on big budget, super pretty, super like traditional AAA games. And man, I don't know, like, they're really setting the bar high here. I mean, like, I'm always talking about how like I wish Nintendo would give more love to more series and everything. And it's like, I don't know what the budget for the game is, but like when you see guys from God of War and Call of Duty and all that stuff, you can't help but think big, crazy AAA experience. And I know I shouldn't be getting my hopes up that far, but like what are they doing here? They're hiring all these guys who know how to work on these big, huge games, and it's hard for me to believe they would do that for Metroid, just because Metroid doesn't usually work and they don't want to put a bunch of money into it. But I don't know, is this them, honest to goodness, just throwing all their eggs in that basket and being like, you know what, if we're gonna do it, let's do it. Let's turn Metroid into, that would make a good video. Ooh. I love coming up with videos in the middle of other videos. I'm gonna write that down. Tentative title, Metroid Prime 4 could be really, really cool. Done. I'll remember what that means. Just like all my other notes in here, I remember what they all mean, even years later. Blue Bigfoot. What does that mean? Huh. Okay, moving on. Last week I reported how Nintendo accidentally leaked Kirby Fighters 2. Well, very soon after that, they officially revealed and released Kirby Fighters 2. It's apparently just Kirby, but you fight. A lot of people have said it's very much like a Smash clone, but with Kirby characters, but that's not a bad thing at all. It seems like a very high quality product, and it seems like everyone's having a lot of fun with it. It's 20 bucks. Pretty cool. You like Kirby? Kirby Fighters 2. Jump Rope Challenge was originally scheduled to be removed from the eShop at the end of September for reasons, I don't know, but Nintendo has gone back on it and said, you know what, we're not going to remove it yet. At this point, we don't know. I mean, they didn't say it was permanent, but at least for the foreseeable future, it will be available, which is cool, naturally, because the idea of limited time games is just a bad thing. I keep saying it, there is going to be a video on this topic. It's a very bad and scary idea, and I know this is just Jump Rope Challenge, but it's a much bigger discussion than just Jump Rope Challenge, the whole idea of limited time games. So, I'm not as optimistic as a lot of people. I'm not gonna assume that this means maybe they're considering not making Mario 3D All-Stars a limited time thing. I mean, it's possible. It's technically possible. They might go back on that too. That would be really nice, but yeah, I'm not gonna get my hopes up. I mean, hey, I'll be dancing for joy if they do the same thing for Mario 3D All-Stars, but we'll see. At the very least, we still got Jump Rope Challenge. And that reminds me that Super Mario Bros. 35 just came out, and there's another game I gotta play because they're gonna take it down. Will that be another one where they change their mind? Who knows? As promised, we were given a bunch of new Age of Calamity stuff at Tokyo Game Show. We got a new trailer for the game, as well as a nice big chunk of gameplay. I'm kind of surprised by how we didn't really get a lot of revelatory stuff. I kind of expected more details, more I don't know, features or mechanics or just little bits that make you go, oh wow, that's a new thing. We really didn't. It was all pretty much the gameplay was kind of like what you'd expect, and the trailer didn't really reveal anything else. I would say if there was one big new kind of reveal thing, it was revealing the look or whatever of young Impa, which, as some people have been pointing out, is clearly the just exact same character model of the character Paya from Breath of the Wild. I mean, she is Impa's granddaughter, so it kind of makes sense, but it's a little funny. I mean, it's very economical. I can't blame them for reusing the character model. But it is cool to see her. Previously, we've only seen her in her older form, so, I'd like to get more of an idea of how she's gonna play and all that stuff, but obviously there's still plenty of time for more info to come. I cannot possibly stress just how excited I am for Age of Calamity, and I will take this brief time to, I want to PSA people at every turn. If you're one of those people that thinks Hyrule, or thinks the Warriors games in general are just killing lots and lots of little bad guys, that's not what the game is about. It's a whole thing. It's a big military. I've talked about this before. I've even had videos on this, but just in case anyone is listening who's like, no, the Warriors games are dumb. You just kill a bunch of guys. It's totally mindless. It's not. It's like a military strategy thing. You kill little guys to get your combo up. I don't know. I'm kind of considering making a whole video just on that because I hate the idea that people will skip Age of Calamity because they have a wrong idea of what Warriors games are. So, I don't know. Go check out my review of the original Hyrule Warriors if you want more of an idea of my thoughts on that. But this could be really, really cool, and I'm really, really super duper looking forward to it. Oh my gosh, the potential is just, oh, so big. Finally, Nintendo has released a new Mario action figure. This thing makes a variety of different noises and vocal things depending on what you hit, what you interact with, what positioning you put the guy in. I got, okay. Oh, I just remembered. Okay, so you gotta watch the video that they revealed this in. There's so much about this video I love. This kid, right at the beginning, he's got his Mario toy, and just like the look on his face, he's just like, oh yeah, like he's just like, oh, this is happening. This is happening, man. And there's like, there's like this big sandwich. This is giant. What? I don't even I watched the video once, and I don't even want to get any more clarity on it. I don't, there's just this giant sandwich, and they just like keep showing it, and like Mario's like talking about it, just like it keeps coming back to this. It's just like, nah, Mario, he's got this giant sandwich, but Mario's got all these phrases, and you punch it, and he goes, woohoo, giant sandwich. Oh boy, I sure am enjoying playing with his Oh man, look at that sandwich. It's huge. It's huge. It's funny. I don't understand it. I don't get it. It's just a giant sandwich. Very funny. Anyway, though, the figure is available now at many different retailers. I've already had people asking me, Arlo, is this something that you are going to purchase? Is this something that you are going to cover on your channel? And the only answer I have at this time to that question is...
It's me, Mario.
Well, anyway, that's it for the news this week. I will see you next week with presumably even more Nintendo-related news. Thank you so much for watching. I value you. I love you. I love you. Please have a good day. Goodbye.